The court is now in session. Secretary could report the attendance of the parties and individuals to today's proceeding. Secretary, Mr. President, for today's proceeding, all parties to this case are present. On the side note, the National Council for Nunchi is present with the accused downstairs, and Nunchi is also present in the holding cell downstairs pursuant to the decision of the trial chamber concerning his health. The National Lead Co-Lawyers for Civil Party, Pech Ong, is absent due to personal commitment. President, thank you. I would like now to give the floor to the prosecution to present their key documents on the role of the accused. You may proceed. Senbun King, thank you, Mr. President. And good morning, Mr. President, Your Honors, and all parties who are present in this courtroom. I'd like now to continue where I left off yesterday. And as I informed the chamber, I make presentation on the key documents related to the role and responsibility of Nunchi. The first document that I will present is the meeting minute of the Standing Committee, and the document number is E3/218. It is the Standing Committee meeting that was held on 26 March 1976, whose agenda was the results of negotiations with Vietnam regarding the eastern border. In the minutes of that Standing Committee meeting, and in reference to the attendance list for the meeting, it shows that the Secretary Pol Pot was absent. And in Pol Pot's absence, Nunchi presided over this Standing Committee meeting in his role as Deputy Secretary of the party. The other participants in this Standing Committee meeting were Son Sen alias Kieu Sampon alias Haim, Northeast Zone Secretary Ya, General Staff Deputy Secretary Siet Chai alias Tum, and Sư Wasi alias Duen. The minutes reflect that Comrade Ja reported on negotiations held with Vietnam that had occurred from the 7th to the 9th of March 1976. Following that report, on pages 6 to 7 of the minutes, that is on the Khmer page with EAN 0x5 756 2757, and English 0018 2656 257, and on French page 0033 4970 271. Instructions and measures were provided by Nunchi. In the list of future measures, paragraph A states as follows: keep implementing the measures of the party, political, military, and diplomatic. Camera Deputy Secretary recalled the content of the Standing Committee's decision in the meeting of 11 March concerning the problems on the eastern border protection and sending the minutes to Comrade Jha. And in paragraph B, Noon Chi assigned to Son Sen the task to prepare maps in preparation for negotiations with Vietnam in the future. And in paragraph C, Noon Chi proposed measures relating to diplomatic policy, specifically that at the base proposed to instruct the brothers and sisters who have the task of receiving guests at the bases to maintain a proper attitude along the party line. And on the last page of these minutes, paragraph 3 records the instructions decided by Noon Chi and the Standing Committee relating to the use of mines, arrest, attacks on boats, and the need for vigilance regarding people fleeing through Vietnam. I'd like to read the following quote. 3. Vietnamese activities at other locations. During the negotiations in the Northeast at other locations, the Vietnamese carried out activities non-stop, as in A. In the East, in the Chbot area of Snool district, they built a road across our land along an old French road and entered 4 to 5 kilometers into our territory. The party instructed the use of mines. At Kampuchea, their tractor drove into our territory and hit a mine, killing the driver, and they came to drag it back. At another location on the Swai border, they came and placed more than 200 bamboo marker posts more than 1 kilometer into our territory, etc. B. At Pim Cho Kaom Sam No, a group of 5 or 6 Vietnamese came to live in the forest. What faction of Vietnamese they are from is unknown. We have ordered them arrested already. C. On the sea, they have their small boats and vessels aggress into our territory waters frequently. We have fired on and sunk some small boats. Therefore, with Vietnam, our problems are never ending. We must continue the political struggle, the diplomatic struggle, but must use military force in combination. Be vigilant for another thing with Vietnam, with people who flee to Vietnam and who do not return and make propaganda leading others to revolt. The bases have taken measures on this problem already. Another document that reflects the specific areas of responsibility assigned to Noon Chi is E3/182. It is the minutes of the 9th October 1975 Standing Committee meeting. On the first page of minutes in the section entitled Delegation of Work and the Operational Process, the following areas of responsibility were assigned to Deputy Secretary Noon Chi. And I'd like to quote here: party affairs, social action, culture, propaganda, and education. End of quote. I also note that the second agenda item in this meeting was preparations for living in common. And on the 6th page of the Standing Committee minutes for 9 October 1975, Khmer EIN 00019113, English 00183396, and French 00292873. And in section 2, titled Living Together, the minutes record the party leaders will be moving into their common living quarters on the 15th of that month. And the next document that I will present is his first 2 appearances before the co-investigating judges of this court. Nuon Chea made admissions regarding his role in the CPK and Democratic Kampuchea. In document E3/54, which is the written record of Nuon Chea's initial appearance on 19 September 2007 at Khmer EIN 00148744 and English 00148817 and in French 00148921. Nuon Chea admitted, quote, I was Deputy Secretary of the party and President of the Assembly. Besides that, I was in charge of educating cadres and party members. End of quote. In this same document, Nuon Chea also made the following statement to the CIJs. Quote, there were American CIA and Soviet KGB agents, the Free Khmer, the Vietnamese secret agents, who were hiding within the party, among the population, and in our cooperatives. They were the ones who caused the party line to be raw and burned, and then destroyed the country, party, and people. The next document that I present is E3/558, which is the written record of adversarial hearing, also held on 19 September 2007, at Khmer page 00148677, in English 00148699, and in French 00148715. Nuon Chea made the following admission, quote, concerning power, it was not invested in individuals, it was in the party congress. Therefore, the collective was respected. Leadership in my party was collective decision-making. Particular individuals held their own responsibility, and no one could overturn the decisions of the party congress. End of quote. He also stated, quote, the military committee had the task of national defense and purging internal enemies. As for me, I was on the legislative side. End of quote. Nuon Chea made a similar claim in the previous document presented, that is in document E3/54, where he asserted, as for myself, after the liberation, I was in the legislative body, so I was not involved with the executive. I would therefore now like to present a few documents relating to Nuon Chea's claimed role in the DK legislative body which was known as the People's Representative Assembly. The first document is E3/232, which is the minutes of a standing committee meeting held on 8 March 1976. That was attended by Secretary Pol Pot, Deputy Secretary Noon Chea, and Khieu Samphan Elias Ham. At this meeting, Khieu Samphan reported on the upcoming 20 March 1976 election of the People's Representative Assembly. The true views of the party leaders on that assembly are shown in section 1.2d of the minutes at Khmer EAN 00017118 and in English 00182630 and in French 00323933. As this document is importantly related to the role of Noon Chea, and I'd like to make the following quote. D. Education and propaganda. If anyone asked, we must explain, not be wild and disorderly. Do not let it be seem that we want to suppress. At the same time, do not speak playfully about the assembly in front of the people to let them see that we are deceptive and our assembly is worthless. In fact, it still remains the task of the party. The DK government announced the results of the quote-unquote election of this National Assembly in document E3/274. And on the Khmer page EAN 00896377-87 and on English page 0016798529 and the French page 00700110-212. This document is a transcript of a radio broadcast read by Propaganda and Information Minister Hu Nim of a statement by the election committee, and it was signed by Khieu Samphan. It made the following announcement regarding the results of the election that was purportedly held on 20 March 1976. First, at Khmer EAN 00896377-78 and English 00167985 and French 00700111. Quote, the elections were held at all population bases, peasant cooperatives, factories, and Revolutionary Army units. According to the record books of the Cambodian population, Our people, including elders, youngsters, men, women, Revolutionary Army soldiers of both sexes, and cadres at all ministries and revolutionary offices, total 7,735,379 people. Out of this figure, 3,635,581 persons are eligible voters, that is, not less than 18 years of age. And continuing on the following page, it was announced from 0600 hours to 1800 hours on 20 March, they turned out cheerfully to cast their ballots together. The 20 March elections were successfully carried out with all of our people aged 18 years and up casting their ballots with enthusiasm. The results from all polling stations throughout the country are as follows. 1. The number of eligible voters aged 18 years and up is 3,635,581. 2. The number of people who participated in the elections is 3,462,868, or 98% of the eligible voters. 3. The number of candidates running for seats in the Cambodian People's Representative Assembly is 515. Of these 515 candidates, 250 were elected as members of the Cambodian People's Representative Assembly. End of quote. It should also be noted that, notwithstanding that this election was supposedly held from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 20th of March 1976, and that a total of 3,462,868 people voted at locations throughout the country, including remote regions like Ratanakiri, the DK government was able to announce the election results and the exact number of votes by 6 a.m. local time on the 22nd of March 1976. That is 2300 hours Greenwich Mean Time on 21st of March. Which means it's 6 a.m. of the 22nd of March 1976 in Cambodia. The third document relating to the People's Representative Assembly that I would like to present is E3/165, which is the record of the first conference of the Legislative Assembly, dated 11th to 13 April 1976. At pages 43 to 44, the document announced the appointment of Noon Jie as chairman of the Standing Committee of the People's Representative Assembly. And the document ends, that is from pages 53 to 66, with an announcement issued by Noon Jie on 14 April 1976. In the section of Noon Jie's statement announcing the decision to accept the resignation of Prince Norodom Sihanouk at page 59, which is on Khmer page 00053641 and English 00184073 and French 00301359. Nuon Chea makes reference to the struggle for national liberation in opposition to the cruel and barbaric war of aggression of the American imperialists and the Lon Nol traitor group Srimata, Sơ Ngọc Thanh, Cheng Heng, and Tan Long Boren, and sustain its servants.
ហើយប្រភេទឯកសារ
The other documents relate to the speech by Mr. Nuon Chea, document E3/78. This document is a speech given by Nuon Chea on the 18th of January 1978 at a banquet held in honor of visiting officials from the People's Republic of China, which speech was published in the Nouvelle du Kampuchea Démocratique, issue number 3. Nuon Chea is identified as the Deputy Secretary of the Communist Party of Kampuchea and President of the Standing Committee of the Assembly of Representatives. In that speech, Nuon Chea made the following statement at Khmer ERN 00705172, English 00290285, French S00009311. I would like to quote the text as follows. Quote, "This visit comes at a time when the entire revolutionary army of Kampuchea and the people of Kampuchea as a whole are standing as one man under the leadership of the Communist Party of Kampuchea and are steadfast in their resolve to forge ahead with the struggle, are always alert in their revolutionary vigilance, and are fighting to accomplish with determination their 3 tasks, namely national defense, the furtherance of the socialist revolution, and the building of socialism. With regard to national defense, we have overcome and are still overcoming obstacles and are fighting to successfully retain our sacred land, and we are fully in control of the situation. With regard to nation building, in particular rice production, in 1977 we have achieved 100% success in the plan to produce 3 tons per hectare and 6 tons per hectare. We must keep up the revolutionary vigilance and overcome other obstacles in order to gain better control of the situation in our effort to ensure national defense, build our country quickly, and improve our people's standard of living." The next document is E3/196. It's a presentation by Nuon Chea made to the Communist Workers' Party of Denmark on the 30th and 31st of July 1978. At the start of his presentation at Khmer ERN 00224458, English 00762392, and French 00280665 through 66. Nunchi made the following statements about the history of the party's struggle. I would like to quote as follows. Point number 3. Our party chose two forms of struggle: political struggle and armed struggle. These are interrelated. The political struggle was promoted Currently, we struggle openly and secretly, and our secret struggle was the main foundation of our struggle, and we have already determined that this form would be the form for our struggle. And the struggle, the strengthening of our forces were very important in the work of this struggle. Point number 4. We started our struggle in the cities and also in the rural areas. Point number 5. In the rural area, we worked to enhance our struggle in the bases. And on ERN in Khmer 00224467 and English 00762397 through 98. French ERN 00280671. Nuntia provided the following explanation of how party cadres were politically educated. I would like to quote as follows. Cadres are also instructed in revolutionary vigilance, that is, taking care to be on guard against the enemy. We arm them with an understanding of dialectical materialism to enable them to analyze things and to understand the ideological standpoints of the party. All of these ideological standpoints have been propagated in the branches and cells of the party. This was done not by the reading out of documents, but by analyzing daily activities, determining what was done wrongly and correcting shortcomings. As for our books, there are only a few pages in length, as brief documents are more suitable for poor peasants. We also have some courses, mostly short ones for small groups, and underground work for 2 to 3 people once or twice a month. There are also other courses held about twice a year, in which party members are introduced to revolutionary concepts and educated in our political, ideological, and organizational line. On the following page, which is at point number 4 about the organizational line of the party, Mr. Nguyen Chia mentioned about the background of the party and cadres, and he said, I quote, "We build the party ideologically and organizationally by relying on our class analysis, taking the poor peasant and worker classes as the basic classes. Those who joined from the petty bourgeoisie or other classes tried to promote the standpoints of those classes, but they had to renounce their old standpoints and develop working class consciousness. Cadres are evaluated on the basis of their concrete activities. Their spirit has to be clean, uncorrupted, and without entangling contacts with the enemy. We investigate life histories and class background both before and after they join the revolution. We do this to prevent infiltration by, for example, CIA, KGB, or Vietnamese agents. By adopting these organizational principles, we have unity in the party and can cleanse our party of bad elements. We have not seen 100% successful, rather we have not been 100% successful, and the enemy is still attempting to undermine the party. Consequently, we are striving to strengthen political and ideological education and to clean the party. Now, I would like to also quote another document which is under Khmer ERN 00224473 through 74, English 00762402, and French 00280674 through 75. Nuon Chea gave a detailed statement regarding experiences since liberation and addressed the reason for the evacuation of the cities. I would like to cite it as follows. Since liberation, our experience relates to anti-party activities organized inside our party. They usually involve CIA, Vietnamese, and KGB agents. Our experiences in this area are very recent, but it appears from what we have been able to learn that CIA, Vietnamese, and KGB agents have been working inside the party for a long time. When we observed that something was wrong, we thought it was an internal contradiction and attempted to resolve it by means of persuasion, self-criticism, and so on. For example, the party had to give directives to a branch concerning the living conditions of the people. When nothing changed, we realized something was wrong. Where there were deviations to the left or to the right, we looked carefully into the backgrounds of the cadres. We also sought the opinion of the masses. We have thus been able to uncover enemy agents step by step. Generally, we discovered they had been engaged in enemy activities for a very long time. Sometimes, good comrades had been imprisoned and tortured, and afterwards they surrendered to the enemy. Upon release, they served as agents. We welcomed them back, accepted them without looking at what happened or what had happened in prison. We now realize they had become agents of the enemy. It is best known that the Americans try to follow up on the situation once every 6 months. And that we had to internally and externally join hands in this struggle to destroy this plan. And immediately after the evacuation, Rather, immediately after the liberation, we evacuated all the population from the cities. The CIA, the KGB, and the Vietnamese agents had to be evacuated to the rural areas where they could no longer implement their plans. So these people could not react immediately. But later on, we learned that they planned to stage the coup d'etat. These activities included joined by the efforts from the outsiders. These people had no power, but they would like to take the opportunity when the Vietnamese attacked us to assassinate our leaders. And later on they would then announce to the outside world about this. Nonetheless, after the Vietnamese attacked, our soldiers failed them, and we arrested the traitors within the rank. Although we said we destroyed their plan, that doesn't mean that the enemies would like to surrender. We had to work hard to continue fighting them and to find out those who infiltrating in our party's line. Our current plan does not relate only to the Vietnamese agents, but it also relates to the imperialists and the KGB agents. End of quote. And on another ERN pages, ERN 0022 4476 in Khmer and English 0076 2404 and French ERN 00280676. Nunchi explained the party's different treatment of urban and rural areas. I would like to quote it as follows. The best of our cadres worked among poor peasants, building base areas in the most remote regions. They had to transform themselves so as to work among peasants. Initially, there were a lot of problems. Meanwhile, in the cities, cadres had to become workers. The conditions in the cities and the countryside were quite different. In rural areas, living conditions were very bad, but there were few enemies. In the cities, living conditions were better, but there were many enemies. Both places had advantages and disadvantages. Cadres had to be selected accordingly. There was a lot of malaria in the countryside. Some cadres refused to work there. But we had work to do, and we had to strengthen their ideological standpoint. End of quote. This is going to be my last document to present today, document E3/108. This is an interview that was given by Nguyen Chia on the 10th of June 2006 from his home in Thailand. In this interview at Khmer EON 00347043, English 00280676, 000932, French 00613208. Nuon Chea made the following statement regarding his role in re-educating cadres. Quote, questioned by Mr. Meng Tri. What was the measure to deal with the bad cadres or comrades? Nuon Chea said, I re-educated them. It was a hard job. Then Meng Tri asked another question. What did you do? Nuon Chea said, I re-educated them and did not allow them to stay in their positions. End of quote. And on another page, under Khmer ERN page 00347046247 and English 000934, French 00613210 through 11. He made the following statements, and I quote, a question by Mr. Meng Tri. Do you think that it is a good idea to teach younger generation about the past? If so, how could we do that? Nuon Chea responded, I am now writing a book about the past. I have written it for 3 years now. I want younger generation to learn what happened in the past. Please keep that to yourself, as I do not want anybody to know that I am now writing a book. Then Mr. Meng Tri questioned him again. Who were the enemies of your regime? Nuon Chea said, they were United States and Vietnam. They were hidden in the comrades, and they destroyed my regime by not following the policy. They were doing nothing or doing too much. Mr. Meng Tri put to him another question. What is S-21? Nuon Chea said, it was established to search for the enemy of the country. Then Mr. Meng Tri continued, how did they search for the enemy? And Nuon Chea responded, somebody who wanted to harm people. S-21 was set up to take care of that matter. Sadly, there were bad comrades there. That's the end of my quote, and that also concludes my presentation, Mr. President. Next, I would like to cede the floor over to my colleague to continue presenting some more documents. With your leave, Mr. President. The President, thank you very much. International Co-Prosecutor, you may now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the last document that was just presented by my colleague, Nuon Chea made reference in June 2006 to a book that he was writing that he did not want anyone to know about. And we have since heard Nuon Chea testify that he gave a manuscript to Tet Sambat to publish. And I would like to start by presenting a few excerpts from the book published by Tet Sambat and Gina Chan in 2010, the book titled Behind the killing fields, document E152.2. And I will make a number of references to statements attributed to Nuon Chea in this document throughout my presentation today. In the first chapter of the book, at Khmer 00920126, English 00757477, and the translation of this page in French is still pending. At this page, the authors wrote as follows, quote, "He is described as Pol Pot's right-hand man. In the early years of the communist movement, which ruled Cambodia from 1975 to 1979, he had more power than Brother Number One himself. He was the political ideologue of the Khmer Rouge and came up with many of the regime's policies. Few details of his life were known because of his obsession with secrecy and his work behind the scenes as Pol Pot's shadow and alter ego." Later in this book, Tet Sombat describes the process of interviewing Nuon Chea and his gradual admissions over time. This is a reference from chapter 12, English page 00757555, Khmer 00920135. The authors state, quote, "It took time for Nuon Chea to trust Sombat enough to give him the answers he sought. In the first year of interviews, Nuon Chea gave predictable responses. He said he did not know anything, that everything was up to Pol Pot, a response offered by other Khmer Rouge leaders. But Nuon Chea began to see that Sombat was being true to his word. The visits were kept secret and nothing was published because Nuon Chea wanted it saved for the book." And then continuing at English 00757556, Khmer 00920140, Tet Sombat describes a meeting with Nuon Chea the day before his arrest in September 2007, at which time Nuon Chea provided authorization to publish this book. Quote, "Nuon Chea told Sombat he had written a letter that said he had given permission to Sombat to publish information about his life. Sombat asked for him for the letter before the authorities came for fear they might confiscate it." End of quote. Now, a few excerpts from this book, E152.2, relate to some subjects that were also touched upon by my colleague earlier this morning. And first, in regards to the People's Representative Assembly and government ministries, the following statements are attributed to Nuon Chea at Khmer 00858245, English 00757493, and French 00849372. Quote, "The ministries were only in name because we had no people to work because there was no work to do," Nuon Chea said. Continuing the quote from Nuon Chea, "All the people were in the provinces to work in the cooperatives, so why should we have people sitting in a chair in a finance ministry office. That was the style of the old government. Even though he was the head of the National Assembly, Nuon Chea never went to that office. And another quote is attributed here to Nuon Chea. Quote, "There was nothing to debate because we had no laws to pass. Only the Foreign Affairs Ministry had a full-time staff." End of quote. At the same page in English and French, and the following page in Khmer, 00858246, there is the following excerpt regarding political education and self-criticism sessions. Quote, "To ensure that cadre maintained the revolutionary spirit and correct political thought, self-criticism sessions were held on a regular basis. In Phnom Penh, sessions were organized every week for the various cadre, soldiers, workers, and leaders who lived there. Nuon Chea usually presided over these meetings. Self-criticism sessions were seen as a crucial component in encouraging cadre to be better people, to improve their revolutionary stance." Quote, "The self-criticisms did not mean that we attacked this person or said something was right and wrong. The purpose was to eliminate individualism and selfishness," Nuon Chea said. And continuing on the following page, quote, "The top leaders held their own self-criticism sessions once a month. Nuon Chea said he often commented on the behavior of Khieu Samphan, Ieng Sary, and Southwest Zone leader Tamak, and once in a while, Pol Pot. Although he told people to criticize him, very few dared, except for Pol Pot." End of quote. And I would now like to play a short video clip from Tet Sombat's interviews of Nuon Chea, a clip in which Nuon Chea describes his self-criticism sessions with Pol Pot and also addresses whether there were any matters on which he and Pol Pot disagreed during the 1975 to 1979 time period. And I would ask, this excerpt comes from E186.1R, document V00800-935, a video titled "Additional Footage Nuon Chea Interview." And this is an excerpt from 14 minutes and 15 seconds through 17 minutes and 47 seconds of that original video. If the clip is ready to play, it's clip number 1, titled "Self-Criticism." I would ask Mr. President now if the audiovisual AV booth can play that clip number 1.
President, yes, you may do so. AV unit, please display that video clip on the screen as requested by the prosecutor.
Tam Kim Cham, cứ Pol Pot nó tiền nhóm lơ bành ha miệng kia này vô bài là nặng xe cho mũi stop lỡ đó mình sâu mặt chót cứ thầm mình sâu là ếch á cứ nhóm trơn là mình sâu ăn vật nấu ông mình sâu ca này dễ đây ấy chỉ lẽ cả nặng xe đó cứ thầm mình sâu tuần phun អានឹងក៏មានអញ្ចឹងហើយខ្ញុំតិទៀនប៉ុលពតវិញរឿងមួយរឿងសុខភាពពីរទៀតនេះខ្ញុំភ្លេចហ្នឹងវាច្រើនមួយទៀតរឿងកាត់លេខរហ័សទុកចិត្តគេរហ័សទុកចិត្តអ្នកដតីណាអានេះតាមខ្ញុំចាំពីក្រៅពីហ្នឹងអារឿងកំពេចកំប៉ុកជាណាការរស់នៅប្រចាំថ្ងៃអីក៏មានដែរការរស់នៅប្រចាំថ្ងៃណាដូចការប្រស្រ័យតាកតងអីយ៉ាងម៉េចហ្នឹងអានឹងវាជារឿងសាមញ្ញទេប៉ុន្តែដោយច្រើនណាការតិទៀនស្វ័យតិទៀនគ្នាលើការអនុវត្តមេគានយោបាយជាសំខាន់ទីណាក៏ខ្ញុំចាំម្ដងគឺថាកើតតិស្វ័យតិទៀនក្នុងកើតគឺថាកើតការរស់នៅរបស់កើតវាមិនតាន់ជាសមស្របជាគេយើងប្រើពាក្យកម្មអាជីពគឺថានៅរបៀបរស់នៅរបៀបអនុធនគឺថារស់នៅនៅហឺហានៅចង់សប្បាយនៅអីយ៉ាងណាក៏ស្វ័យតិទៀន
គុណវិបត្តិដែលអំលើចំពោះអង្គពុទ្ធចំពោះពុទ្ធនេះយ៉ាងไรខ្លះ
គុណវិបត្តិដែរចាំខ្ញុំនឹកសូវឃើញវាយូរ
គុណវិបត្តិចំពោះអំលើទៅពុទ្ធហើយចំពោះពុទ្ធដែលលើគុណវិបត្តិនៅចំពោះអង្គវិញហ្នឹងតើមានចំណុចណា
រស់នៅមិនសូវរីករាយគឺរស់នៅមិនសូវជាសប្បាយមិនសូវសប្បាយអីគេណាគិតតែការងារណាអានឹងអញ្ចឹងគិតតែការងារទៅប៉ុន្តែដល់គ្រួសារយ៉ាងម៉េចឈឺស្កាត់អីយ៉ាងម៉េចមិនសូវគិតណាអានឹងក៏ជាការខ្វះខាតមួយដែរពេកមានគុណសម្បត្តិប៉ុន្តែការខ្វះខាតគឺថាមិនសូវគិតគូររឿងគ្រួសារឈឺស្កាត់អីសុខទុក្ខយ៉ាងម៉េចមិនសូវគិតទេ
អង្គពីពុទ្ធធ្លាប់មានការពិភាក្សាណាមួយដែលតឹងរឹងគ្នានេះបាទពីគ្រប់គ្រងអំណាចហើយចិត្តតាម79នោះបាទ
ដូចគ្មានទេមិនមានទេ75 79មិនមានបញ្ហាអីគ្នាទេ
Returning, Mr. President, to E152.2, the book that was published by Tet Sambat based on interviews and material provided by Noon Chea, at Khmer 00858381 through 82, English 00757546, and French 00849463. At these pages, Noon Chea discusses his relationship with Pol Pot and states as follows, quote, "They just called him and me brother number 1 and 2, he said." Continuing later in the same paragraph, quote, "I was not the right arm or the left arm of Pol Pot," Noon Chea said. "We were equal. Pol Pot did not serve me, and I did not serve him. We both served the way of the party." End of quote. And at Khmer 00858363 through 64, English 00757539, French 00849451. Noon Chea further discusses his relationship with Pol Pot and the process of collective decisions. The excerpt reads as follows, quote, "When the serious clashes began, Pol Pot called all the senior leaders to a meeting and said he wanted to make a clear stand against Vietnam and suggested cutting diplomatic ties. Untitled was surprised at this suggestion because it had not been discussed between the two before the meeting, as they usually did before making major decisions. The leaders agreed, but Untitled said it was a lack of democracy not to consult him first. End of quote. And in the next video clip, I would like to play, Untitled discusses how Pol Pot became the party secretary, but how the two always worked together and discussed all significant issues. This is another excerpt from the same video as before, the video titled Additional Footage Untitled Interview. This excerpt is from 09 minutes, 26 seconds through 12 minutes, 52 seconds from the original E186.1R. And, Mr. President, I would ask the AV booth to now play clip number 2, which is titled Pol Pot, with your leave.
Yes, you may do so. Every unit, please play the video clip as requested by the prosecutor.
Apparently they didn't hear. It's clip number 2, which is titled Pol Pot, that we would like to play at this time.
Cấm sông chùm riệp ca bích dàn đi. Ca để Pol Pot thôi lý khá bạ về lúc nó cứ chứ. Nhóm đấy sẽ thôi lý khá bạ về Pol Pot bị ta tu đó. Và tu có chỉ lý khá nữa. Lý khá hay cực nhóm của vậy. Cắn lý nhóm thì ảnh lúc lục ta tu đó. Vì Pol nhóm sinh kết khơi chứ. Pol Pot nó còn mình lại cả nó ai kể. ហើយក៏មានសមត្ថភាពក្នុងការវិភាគក្នុងការអីហើយពេលនោះណាយើងក៏ត្រូវការបញ្ញាជនមួយចំនួនដែរដើម្បីគេចូលរួមក្នុងការតស៊ូដូច្នោះបានជាខ្ញុំយល់ឃើញថាខ្ញុំមិនមែនជាខ្លះគេថាខ្ញុំបញ្ញាជនតែមិនមែនទេខ្ញុំបញ្ញាជនថ្នាក់ក្រោមដូចអញ្ចឹងបានជាខ្ញុំគិតអញ្ចឹងបានខ្ញុំទៅប្រាប់ពលពតថាក្នុងសភាពការបច្ចុប្បន្ននេះណា ខ្ញុំទទួលនេតិជាលេខាមិនសមរម្យទេមិនបានចម្រើនដល់បកទេស្នើសមាមិកទទួលយកភារកិច្ចហ្នឹងទៅឲ្យពលពតទទួលយកភារកិច្ចជាលេខាទៅគិតមកសន្ទុះគិតមើលក៏គិតវិភាគអីមើលបានគាត់ថាមានអីបើថាអញ្ចឹងយល់ព្រមប៉ុន្តែយើងរួមគ្នាធ្វើការងារទាំងអស់គ្នាអានេះបញ្ហាមានប៉ុណ្ណឹងដូចខ្ញុំគាត់ធ្វើលេខាបកតាំងពីនឹងមកបាទដូចខ្ញុំគ្មានបញ្ហាអីទេ ម្យ៉ាងទៀតមួយទៀតដែលខ្ញុំភ្លេចកាលនោះក្រមប្រជាជនកាលនោះមានមនុស្សមានបកជនមួយចំនួនក្នុងបកណាជាពិសេសក្រមប្រជាជនដែលជាបកដែលជាក្រមចេញចំហណាមានការសង្ស័យថាខ្ញុំនេះជាប់សាច់ញាតិជាមួយស៊ូហេងហើយបើស៊ូហេងក្បត់ហើយតើគាត់យ៉ាងម៉េច
កាលពីឆ្នាំ60ធ្វើអីត្រូវក៏ត្រូវវិភាសាជាមួយអ៊ំដែរអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាគាត់នៅរូបពាក្យសន្យាគាត់ទីទេ
គាត់នៅមានការធម្មតាការអីចុះវាមានចេះជាណាមិនហៅមិនជាណាមិនមែនប្រជុំទេគេហៅថាជួបគ្នាផ្លាស់ប្ដូរមតិគ្នាអានេះមិនមែនជារូបភាពប្រជុំទេបើប្រជុំក៏ផ្សេងទៅអង្គុយអីសួរបួសអានេះអត់ជួបគ្នាមកមិត្តខ្ញុំមានបញ្ហាមួយចង់ពិភាក្សាមកអានេះគេហៅថាពិគ្រោះពិភាក្សាគ្នាសួរមតិគ្នាខាងក្រៅប្រជុំដូច្នេះមានអញ្ចឹងវារហ័សតាកតងអញ្ចឹងមានការអីតាកតងគ្នាភ្លាមដូចខ្ញុំថាមិនបាច់ប្រជុំក៏បានដែរមកគេហៅថាផ្លាស់ប្ដូរមតិគ្នាពាក្យថាប្រើកណ្ដាប់ផ្លាស់ប្ដូរមតិគ្នាអានេះត្រូវធ្វើញឹកញាប់ដែរព្រោះមានការអីមិនចេះតែហៅប្រជុំទេពីព្រោះវាគ្មានពេលប្រជុំផងតិចរឿងនេះតិចរឿងនោះដូចខ្ញុំមានរឿងអីផ្លាស់ប្ដូរគ្នាអានេះមិនចឹងហើយជាពិសេសដោះស្រាយរឿងជីវភាពប្រជាជនរឿងអីនេះអូស្មុគស្មាញហ្នឹងមែន
In an interview he gave to a Japanese journalist in October 2006, document E3/26, E3/26, Nunchea reiterated this concept of collective decision-making. And the first excerpt I will read from this interview is at Khmer 00000899, English 00329511, French 00636871, which contains the following question and answer by Nunchea. Quote, question. So did Pol Pot have sufficient capability to control the entire movement? Nunchea. On that, it was not him by himself. Everyone worked together. He made his contribution, we made ours. Continuing below. Question. During the democratic Kampuchea era, did Pol Pot have a monopoly over power? Or Nunchea, no. The collective, democracy, concentration, or centralism. Later in the same interview, at Khmer 00000901, English 00329512, and French 00636873, Nunchea was asked, quote, who decided to evacuate the people from the cities? Nunchea's response to that question was, quote, the party center. And at Khmer 00000903, English 00329514, French 00636875, Nunchea was asked, quote, in that era, millions of people died. Are you responsible for that in your status as a leader of democratic Kampuchea? Nunchea's response, quote, I am responsible in spirit, end of quote. And the last excerpt from this interview at Khmer 00000906 through 907, English 00329517, and French 00636879. Nunchea was asked why there were no human rights in the democratic Kampuchea regime, and he responded as follows, quote, human rights, the highest human right, the most important human right, is the right to take up arms to fight an enemy. That is the highest right. But the right to write, the right of speech, those are ordinary. End of quote. As noted in a document presented by my colleague, Nuon Chea has acknowledged his responsibility for political education of party cadres. And I would now like to present a third video clip. This will be clip number 3. And it is from E3/536R, E3/536R, document V00172527, which is a video entitled BBC's Phil Rees Cambodia Report, including Nuon Chea interview. The excerpt I'm about to play is from 16 minutes and 16 seconds through 17 minutes and 32 seconds of the original. And Mr. President, with your leave, I would ask the AV booth to play a clip number 3 now, which is titled Political Education.
President, yes, you may proceed. AV unit, please play the third video clip on the screen as requested by the prosecution.
Ruins.
We used collectivization to build up our economy. We created a new type of party cadre to nurture the idea that people should love working in order to build up the country.
If people fell in love without telling their commune chiefs, when it was discovered, the two lovers would be imprisoned or killed. Nuon Chea still has pride in his ideology.
We purified their minds through education. Firstly, through education at school. Secondly, through sending them to work in the fields. When we'd educated them, then they understood and trusted us. They made our party stronger.
Mr. President, I would now like to turn to a group of documents that relate to Nuon Chea's role as acting premier or acting prime minister during a period when Pol Pot was reportedly sick. This is an issue, and because this is an issue that Nuon Chea has denied and contested, I will present here fairly quickly a series of 22 documents that show that Nuon Chea held the title of acting prime minister for almost a one-year period from the 27th of September 1976 until September 1977. As you will see from these documents, Nuon Chea's position as acting prime minister is confirmed by multiple different sources and types of documents. I will present publications of the party itself, DK radio broadcasts that were reported in Phoebus or by the BBC's Summary of World Broadcasts, internal communications within the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and some statements by Ing Suri. The starting point for this subject is document E3/192, E3/192, a 27 September 1976 statement issued by Khieu Samphan, which announced, quote, "The State Presidium of Democratic Kampuchea, 1, has decided to allow Comrade Pol Pot, Premier of Democratic Kampuchea, to take temporary leave from his task in order to take care of his health, which has been bad for several months. 2, has decided to appoint Comrade Nuon Chea, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the Cambodian People's Representative Assembly, to replace Comrade Pol Pot temporarily and assume the role of acting Premier in addition to his present post. 3, this decision is effective from the 27th of September, 1976. End of quote. And I will now take you through, often just with general description of, in a chronological order, of documents that follow during the period Nuon Chea was acting Prime Minister. E3/269, E3/269, at English 00525825, Khmer 00597037, and French 00389125. This is a report dated 17 October 1976 in the Democratic Kampuchea News Bulletin that announcing that interim Prime Minister Nuon Chea had received the Albanian ambassador Dimitar Stamo. Next, E3/147 at Khmer 00679792 through 679802, English 00168465 through 70, and French 00698444 through 50. And this document is a broadcast on the Phnom Penh Domestic Service of excerpts from a 16 January 1977 speech by acting Prime Minister Nuon Chea on the occasion of the 9th anniversary of the Revolutionary Army of Kampuchea. I will come back later and talk a little about the substance of this speech. At this time, I note again, this reference to Nuon Chea as acting Prime Minister. And this is confirmed by other documents reporting the same speech. For example, E3/191 is the BBC SWB's report of the same broadcast, which also confirms that Nuon Chea, acting Prime Minister, delivered the speech. And I would also note E3/544, E3/544 at English S 00005866, Khmer S 00807441, and French S 00802372. And Your Honors, this document is a report from the Peking Review, dated the 28th of January 1977, titled Ninth Anniversary of Founding of Revolutionary Army, that also describes the speech that was given by, quote, unquote, acting Prime Minister Nuon Chea on the history of the RAK and its future military tasks. The next document in this series is E3/485 at English 00519825, French 00391070, Khmer 00524036. And this document, Your Honors, is a 24 January 1977 report from the French Embassy in China describing the visit of a Chinese delegation to Cambodia. And it states that Nuon Chea, quote, is still interim prime minister in the absence of Pol Pot, who is, from all indications, ill, end of quote. The next document in the series is E3/285, and there are actually three. E3/285 is the Phoebus collection for the month of March 1977, and there are three reports in E3/285 that refer to Nuon Chea as in this role. First, at English 00168531, Khmer 00699188-89, and French 00741948. I'll repeat the Khmer ERN, which is 00699188-89. And, Your Honors, this this report records a 23 March 1997 message from State Presidium Chairman Q. Sampan and Acting Prime Minister Nuon Chea, sending a greeting to the Pakistan President and Prime Minister. And in the same document, at Khmer 00897511, English 00168541, you will find a message of congratulations from Acting Prime Minister Nuon Chea to the new Prime Minister of India, sent on the 25th of March 1977. And again in E3/285, this time at Khmer 00897512, English 00168543. You will find a message of congratulations from Acting Prime Minister Nuon Chea to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, dated the 28th of March, 1977. The next document is E3/1245, and this is a message of congratulations that was published in the Voice of Democratic Kampuchea. Or that was published by the Voice of Democratic Kampuchea. The ERN cites the Khmer 00641725, English 00484193, French S00006771, where you will find a 30 March 1977 message of congratulations from Acting Prime Minister Noon Chea to the new Prime Minister of Burma. The next documents come from the April 1977 FIBIS collection, which is document E3/286, E3/286. And in here, there are 3 reports I will quickly reference again. At Khmer 00899400, English 00168222, you will find a 14 April 1977 message of congratulation from the leaders of Bulgaria to State Presidium Chairman Kusum Pan and Acting Prime Minister Noon Chea on the occasion of the 2nd anniversary of Democratic Kampuchea. In the same document, at Khmer 00899401-02, English 00168232, and French 00896375-76, is a 17 April 1977 message of congratulations from the Prime Minister of Pakistan addressed to Acting Prime Minister Noon Chea. And in the same document, E3/286, at Khmer 00899401, English 00168231, is a 20 April 1977 message of congratulations from the President of Yugoslavia to Acting Prime Minister Noon Chea. Mr. President, I'm going to turn to another document at this time, if this is a convenient breaking point for our morning break.
The President. Thank you. Yes, indeed, it is now appropriate moment for the adjournment. The Chamber will adjourn for 20 minutes. The next session will be resumed at 11 o'clock.